Hi everyone, I'm Yeow May, and today's topic on grief is a continuation from before, as it is an ongoing experience in this COVID-19 situation. We are now more than halfway into this circuit breaker, and it has been incredibly hard to escape from information about the impact and losses from news that we see on the TV, when we read in the papers, what we hear on the radio, what we learn from social media, and from the people around us. Not only are we struggling with our own personal losses, we are also exposed to and overwhelmed by wider losses nationally and globally. While we adjust and get used to the changes brought about by this pandemic, sometimes we might not even be consciously aware of the more subtle aspects of our daily life and how that can impact on us. So for example, when you are attending a business meeting or attending a class with your classmates, or just simply kind of socially connecting with your friends and family through Zoom, through WhatsApp, Facebook video, etc. At the end of each session, partings and goodbyes they always seem very sudden and very abrupt. There is no physically standing up from a chair, walking out of the room, closing the door behind you, and for some even a farewell embrace physically, or even a handshake. So the person that you are talking with digitally, who leaves, simply just disappears into thin air. And sometimes we may not realize how much more energy we are expending because of the need to focus and pay attention, so as to compensate for the lack of visual cues outside the small video box. Often we talk about grief as an emotional experience, but in fact, grief can manifest physiologically and impact on our physical health. With the isolative measures and the adjustments that we have to make in our lifestyle, we may notice changes in our sleep and in our appetite. It is not uncommon to feel tired, lethargic, exhausted due to the intensity of stress and emotions, and possibly the lack of your regular exercise regime. Yet at the same time, while this may increase your need for sleep, you may find that your sleep is more shallow or it's more disrupted. Other changes associated with grief could include forgetfulness, difficulties concentrating and focusing, as well as reduced interest in the things that you normally would enjoy. So it's really important that you pay attention to your body and look out for any behavioral changes within yourself. Our minds can sometimes trick us into believing that we are doing okay, but our body never lies. Because we are all facing such a novel situation, we are working through things that we have not or never experienced before. So maybe some of us are not used to working from home, or sitting for exams or tests, where they are at the home environment where there's plenty of distraction, having to share your workplace with family members, including your children playing around at the background, having to report to bosses or managers on what we will do every single hour, and so on. So novel situations are unfamiliar, they present with challenges, but they could also put things in perspective and open our eyes to parts of ourselves we might not know if we weren't in this situation. And as difficult as this can be, it presents an opportunity for us to learn about the parts of ourselves that we didn't know before. Areas where we thrive, that we do well in, but also we learn about what are some of the things that stress us and what are some of the things that would trigger us in this situation. We need to attend to our own losses and take care of ourselves. Research has shown that usually once a crisis passes, most people are able to bounce back and carry on with their lives. Of course, there will be some people who will be chronically impacted and require support in the longer term. The Singapore government has recognized the impact of this pandemic on our mental health, and there are supports accessible should anyone feel that they need them.